Now, today we will see the topic discrete Fourier transform. Now, before we go into the topic discrete Fourier transform, first we will see what is the purpose of Fourier series, and Fourier transform. Now, both of this Fourier series and Fourier transform, they are used to convert a mathematical tool which convert a continuous time domain signal to frequency domain. So both of these are converting a continuous time domain signal into frequency domain. Then what is the difference between Fourier series and Fourier transform? Now, if your signal is continuous and periodic, you can use Fourier series. Now, if your signal is continuous and aperiodic, you will be using Fourier transform. So this is a basic difference between Fourier series and Fourier transform. Now, same way, it is similarly, if your signal is discrete in nature, discrete and periodic, you will be using discrete time Fourier series. Discrete and aperiodic means it will be discrete time Fourier transform. So this is all about Fourier series, Fourier transform, then discrete time Fourier series and discrete time Fourier transform. Now here we are actually dealing with the discrete Fourier transform, which is not the same as discrete time Fourier transform. Now we will see what is the difference between discrete time Fourier transform and discrete Fourier. So what is the difference between discrete time Fourier transform and discrete Fourier transform? Now we know DTFT, it is used for converting a signal x of n, which is in time domain, to a signal in frequency domain x of omega. Now this is done with the help of this equation. X of omega is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n. Now this is a signal in frequency domain, but this particular signal is found to be continuous in nature. This is continuous signal or your spectrum. Now, but your signal is in which form? This is in discrete form. This is in discrete form. So what you have to do is in certain DSP applications like linear filtering, speech processing, image processing, etc. We want a discrete signal. So what we have to do is we have to convert this continuous signal into discrete form, and this is done with the help of sampling. So we require x of omega to be discrete and periodic. So this is done with the help of sampling. So we have to sample it. Okay. We will see one example, that is imagine your signal x of n is given by the equation a raised to n u of n, where a is between 0 and 1. So a lies between 0 and 1. So what will be the nature of your signal? Your signal will be looking like this. Now this is x of n, this is n. Your signal, since it is a discrete signal, this will be a decaying signal since it is value of a is between 0 and 1. So this is your signal. Now when you try to convert it into your frequency domain using DTFT, this is converted into frequency domain signal using DTFT, that is given by the equation sigma n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity a raised to n e raised to minus j omega n. And if you plot the magnitude spectrum of this particular signal, magnitude spectrum x of omega is equal to 1, it is given by this equation, 1 divided by root of 1 minus 2a cos omega plus a square. Now you plot it. When you plot it, you can see that this is found to be continuous and periodic with the period 0 to 2 pi. Okay. So this is found to be continuous and periodic with the period 0 to 2 pi. So this is what periodic and continuous magnitude spectrum of x of omega. But we don't want this to be continuous. So what we do is we sample this spectrum or signal in frequency domain. So now we will see how this is done. So this is your signal in a frequency domain. Magnitude spectra is continuous. That is the period is 2 pi. Now this is converted into discrete with the help of sampling, right? Sampling. Now for convenience, we take n equidistant samples in the interval 0 less than omega less than 2 pi. So n is the number of samples for converting this into discrete. So if you have n number of samples here, say this is say here it is first sample, second sample, third sample, like this. So this is omega. Now this omega, which was equal to 2 pi, now becomes 2 pi by n. Okay, so omega is equal to 2 pi by n is the value now, and it is taken for different values of k. For k varies from 0, 1, etc. up to n minus 1. So k is just an integer. For different values of k, we'll get values of different samples. So you have n number of samples. So if your n is equal to 5, means when k is equal to 0, you are getting first sample, that is omega is equal to 0. When k is equal to 1, you are getting second sample, so omega is equal to 2 pi by 5. When k is equal to 2, you are getting third sample, that is 2 pi by 5 into 2. So like that you will get different values of different samples for different values of k, up to what, up to you can take up to k equal to 4, because the sample at k equal to 0, that is omega is equal to 0, and k equal to 5, that is omega equal to 2 pi. This value is same. So you need to consider only from 0 to 4. So that is up to n minus 1 only you have to consider. Okay. So now you have omega is equal to 2 pi by 5. So we know DTFT equation is what? X of omega is equal to sigma n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n. This was the equation for finding DTFT. Now this omega now becomes what? It is a factor of k. So now this omega, this is replaced with this value 2 pi by n into k. So now what will happen? This is a, since it is a factor of k, you can write x of k. X of k is equal to sigma n equal to, now you are taking samples. So since you are taking samples, you don't have to consider from minus infinity to plus infinity. You need to consider already from n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to, instead of omega, you have what? 2 pi divided by capital N into k into n. Now this is the equation for finding DFT. So x of k is equal to sigma n equal to 0 to n minus 1. So you need to take only from 0 to n minus 1. X of n into e raised to minus j 2 pi by n k into n. This is the equation for DFT, where this factor, this e raised to minus 2 pi by nk is known as Friedel factor, represented as omega n. So it can be written as sigma n equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n. This is also correct, omega n into n, because all up to here omega this is equal to e raised to minus j 2 pi by n. So this into n will come. So spectrum of an aperiodic discrete time signal with a finite duration L can be exactly recovered from its samples only if n is greater than or equal to L. That means from this x of k, you can get x of omega. That is from x of k, you can get back what x of n. Now this is possible with the help of inverse discrete Fourier transform written as IDFT. Now this is possible only if n is greater than or equal to L, where n is the number of samples and L is the length of the sequence. And this is given by IDFT of x of k, that is x of n, which is equal to 1 by n sigma k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k e raised to j 2 pi n k divided by n. Now this is the equation for finding inverse discrete time Fourier transform. X of n is equal to 1 by n sigma k equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of k e raised to j 2 pi n k divided by n. Now this is this reverse transformation is only possible if n is greater than or equal to L. That is, n has to be always greater than or equal to L. So, thank you.